So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Conversation. We're doing these over the next few weeks from people who are absolutely incredible people, first of all, but secondly, entrepreneurial people inspiring their magic around the world and what and how they built their business with. And I just thought it'd be lovely for our listeners to hear some of their golden nuggets of how they built their enterprises, their organizations, their huge businesses around the world. And I am absolutely honored today with a true friend, a true mentor, Mr. Brian Mayne. Hello, Brian.
Hello, wonderful to be with you again, Susie.
Oh, it's my pleasure, but I am just honored that here. And before we get into some golden tips and nuggets and all the rest of it, I just wanted to read a few lines of your bio to people so people really truly understand who you are. But they probably know Brian because you are internationally renowned through all your books, through all your events and seminars. But if they don't know, they're going to know it now. So Brian is an inspirational speaker, is author of many, many books. And I'm sure, how many numbers of books to date, Brian? Can you tell us?
It's about 8 books in total, but there are 4 books I'm best known for that have been translated into lots of languages.
And that's the key thing. You know, you're the creator of a world leading achievement system called goal mapping, life mapping, and self mapping. And you've also created a development program for children, called the 7 Magic Keys. So as you say, they've been translated into loads of languages. I've read all 8 of them, would you believe? And I think I've got them on my bookshelf up at another place. And you know that I've taught goal setting for many years before I met you, the traditional way, I call it, in the business world. And when I first came across goal mapping, it was absolutely the best system that I'd ever come across. And so the traditional goal setting, Brian, went out the window. And I came and became a practitioner of yours, which you've got many all around the world. And I trained because I absolutely realized it was the best course around. And I use it now today, even though it was a few years back I did that, because we've known each other for a long time. It is the best course. And you'll tell us why in a minute, but traditional goal setting has evolved, but you have designed this system. It's very unique to you. I know you created it, and it is truly magic, to use that word. I don't use that word magic lightly because it truly is. But you've worked internationally and you've had so much press coverage from so many people and feedback and everything. But what I love most about you is that you are so humble in your teachings.
Oh, thank you.
You care very deeply about people, and that to me, as you know, is one of the biggest traits to be human. And I'm truly honored to be a friend of yours, as well as you be my mentor. So let's kick this off, our lovely conversation and chat. The first thing I'd say to you is everybody, I believe, has got personal leadership, their own ways of doing things. Even though they've built businesses, built organizations, they're entrepreneurial. I feel there are some things that are unique to each individual. And that's what I've discovered in my years of running a business for nearly 20 years now too. So what would you say are your 3 success lead clues, tips, if you like, that's helped you on your journey?
For myself personally, it is absolutely finding and following what I believe is my purpose. That has been, without question, the most important thing, because it's that pull of power that helps you through the dark times and difficult days. And I've been encouraging a lot of people during these last weeks to find and connect with their sense of purpose to help them through the really challenging times. I think the other thing that has been so important to me is that many years ago, I received a very spiritual teaching that really talked about the importance of getting to essence. And at the time, I'd been working for Stephen Covey and Tony Robbins, and I know that you're also a Tony Robbins trainer. Mm-hmm. And I'd become a Tony Robbins trainer in 1994. And I also worked for Stephen Covey, teaching his program, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Brilliant.
The spiritual teaching I received was really about making things as simple as possible and getting back to essence. And it was really that sense of intuition, not just the teaching in the spiritual information I received, about getting to essence, that I think served me very well. And I've worked for many years to refine and define what it is that I believe makes life work well. And if you can make your teaching very simple, it means you also make it accessible. So I've been able to take the same core teaching and deliver that to big business like Microsoft, Siemens, Disney, Coca-Cola. They've all had goal mapping. And the flip side of that is that over 1 million children in state education from 15 countries, all the way from primary through secondary and university and into graduate programs, have also had goal mapping. Sports people, health, well-being, a lot of spiritual people with various techniques will combine goal mapping with something else they teach. And to be honest, Susie, the feeling is mutual. It's an absolute pleasure to have you as part of the certified community that have been teaching goal mapping. And I know that you have helped many thousands of people in various countries around the world to improve themselves and their lives in the work that you teach. And it makes me very proud that goal mapping is part of what you teach, because I know that you have your own programs and a lot of other brilliant information that you share with people.
Yeah, I mean, you know, thank you for that, those kind words, but I am truly passionate about goal mapping, and you're absolutely right. We all have our own courses, but I weave goal mapping in there because, you know, I did my PhD in neuroscience and psychology, and you use so much of the understanding of the subconscious brain in everything we do, and you weave it in with goal mapping. And that's why I think your unique system is so powerful, because it completely, the mind-body correlation, all the things you learn within goal mapping, it absolutely sets them on their purpose. You know, the amount of results and the outcomes that we've got from your system is incredible. Very quickly, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year later, you know, I've done it with charities, I've done it with children, and that is the gift, that we can help kids. I mean, I wish we could get this into mainstream education. I mean, you know, that would be, it would change the world. I know the world is going to be a different norm as we come through this.
Yeah.
But if we could set the kids up for success with knowing, you know, what you've created and how we use it will impact their lives, you know, 20-fold. And all we've got to do is just get out there, as you know, the world of personal development, that we both knew each other from, you know, the Tony Robbins early days. But it's really about the mindset, about understanding. It's about purpose. It's about vision and mission, which you've truly done. So we'll keep on doing it. We'll keep on doing it. And the other thing I wanted to ask you was, I believe entrepreneurs think differently, and I think they do differently. You know, I really do. What would you say are a couple of values that you've lived your life by? Just 2 values that you feel have contributed to your journey, your success, your giving back. What would they be if you had to sort of nail them?
I think tenacity, that even if you're not sure you can do something, you step forward anyway, if you think it's a good idea. And I had a long coaching session with someone today that was trying to talk herself out of some goals and dreams because she wasn't sure if she could do it. Well, step forward, try anyway, and you'll at least learn through the experience. I've had a number of goals that I haven't achieved at first attempt, and I've needed to reset the goal. The question I always ask myself is this goal for my highest good and the highest good of all?
Very nice.
And I look to connect with my heart, and if I'm feeling in my heart the answer is yes, then I'll pursue the goal, even if I don't know how I'm going to do it, or maybe if I can achieve it by the date I would like. So I think tenacity is an important quality. The other quality that I think has served me, and maybe this wasn't a conscious decision to develop this quality, but because of my unusual childhood and early years, and you know, but the listeners probably won't, I was born into a traveling funfair family. I'm related to circus people. I never went to school very much. I left school completely at the age of 13 with no qualifications and couldn't read and write properly. And that unusual childhood, and although I had some success, at 29, I was in £1 million of debt, homeless, unemployed, and my marriage had broken down. So things were looking pretty grim, couldn't read and write, no qualifications. I think it's probably really important at this time for people to hear, and many will have heard it before, that it's darkest just before the dawn. What often seems like a really bleak period in our life can actually be the beginning of a bright new shining period and a great blessing. And I know you've attended my deeper work of Shine, because I remember you being in a rather fetching fancy dress outfit, actually, which I won't describe, in Denmark, in Kronborg Castle. When we
Yes. Yeah.
And so what my unusual childhood, I think, created in me was a mindset that was able to work with innovation. Innovation is often spoken of these days in business and leadership about being the answer to fast changing times. Well, we are living in such a fast changing time, and lots of people speak about innovation, but they don't always say how you can generate it in yourself. And I believe the answer is to achieve brain balance. When we find the balance between our right creative brain and our left logical brain, the synergy between the two creates an iteration that leads to innovation, where we see a higher level of success and achievement and effectiveness for ourselves and others. And the goal mapping system really aids that in people, because of the complementary way that it uses words and pictures to help stimulate the right side of the brain, which is generally more creative, left side of the brain, which is generally more logical. The latest science shows that both sides of the brain can do all the different things, neuroplasticity. But basically the right brain is sort of leadership brain, looks forwards, left brain, management brain. And we absolutely need to use both to be at our best. And innovation comes from that interactive balance between the two. And if ever there was a time to practice it, because it's something that we can all develop in ourselves just through learning effective thinking strategies and techniques, and now's the time for sure.
Totally. I mean, that is a lovely flow about exactly right for the right time now. But even if people are going to watch this video years to come, it's still relevant. It's still relevant, using, as you say, both sides of the brain to create their own magic within their own business and within their own life. You know, goal mapping isn't just, I use it for personal people, you know, for personal life's changes. They've been, like you said, you've had an incredible, unusual background and you had adversity. You know, I've heard even more of your story, and anybody can push through. You can make different choices, make different decisions, focus on different things, but it is just, it's that all that was so poignant. You know, I could talk to you for hours about what you said, and it's going to be relevant now through this major big world challenge, but it's also going to be relevant in the future, you know, because we're humans, we're going to have the ups and downs of life, we're going to face adversity, we're going to face success, we're going to face it all. And I love it. I have an expression, Brian, you know, that I do a lot of public speaking to. I go, bring it on, because it teaches us that resilience muscle to get stronger, doesn't it?
And of course, it's going to be very, very relevant for our children.
Yeah.
Long after the virus has gone, we will be needing to find answers to some of the problems that are created now through the consequences of what we're experiencing. And our children are going to live in a rapidly changing world where the skills and the knowledge they're gaining at the moment from traditional education simply will not be relevant and serve them to those future situations they face. The greatest thing we can do for our children right now is to teach them life skills, which are timeless and universal, they're lifelong, and learning how to set and achieve goals has to be one of the primary life skills. I've spent the last 5-6 weeks now of the lockdown, I'm living with my mother to help shield her from the virus. but I've spent my time taking all of my children's material that's normally delivered in schools and putting that online for families to use in home education for free.
Incredible.
To just try and support people during this challenging period.
It's such a huge give back, and we're going to give them your websites at the end of this conversation, you know,
Thank you.
so that at least they can get those free resources. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You are, you know, that's why you are so incredibly human and humble to be able to do that, because, you know, you and I know we believe in putting it out there, it'll come back tenfold. You know, we have the same philosophy in life. So as we wrap this up, you know, one thing I believe in is a circle of genius, which means a peer group, if you like, people, and you and I are in the same circle. You know, we've connected over many years and supported each other. But what, even though you're not a client of mine, I've done your goal mapping, but what would you say that are two probably of my qualities that you feel I can help the world with, my gifts, if you like? What do you see those to be, so that we can all support?
Yes, I think they were the things that stuck out about me on the very first time that I met you, which I remember well, which was at one of my presentations, is that you have a lovely, natural authenticity about you. There's no mask, there's nothing hidden. When you say it, you mean it, and it's real. And that you are incredibly, I would use the word driven because it's a word that most people would associate, but there can be a negative connotation to that, in that you sort of have to. And with you, it's much more about the pull of purpose. I think you really know why you're here, and it's about helping others, and you feel that pull, and it's a passion, and it gives you great power. And I've seen how you set your sights on things and you move forward and you achieve them. And it's a joy to know you.
Oh, that's lovely. Like you, my background, I was a nurse many years ago, and I think that's where I got my love of people, you know, when I used to sit on the bed and listen and care about people. And you and I both care about people massively. It's our heart. It's our true heart set. It really is. So thank you for that. I'm very blessed with that. I could talk to you for hours, Brian, you know, but we haven't got hours. You've got lots of work to do. I've got more people to support. But let's end with, where can people get hold of those free resources? What are some best websites? And I please encourage everybody to go and get some of Brian's books, because, you know, they're written for all people, children, adults, business, life. It can help you in so much. So where can they go, Brian?
Goalmapping.com. So GOAL mapping.com. And I have free online software, so people can do their map online. You can even do it on your mobile phone, but
brilliant,
a computer is better. And there are free downloads if you'd like to do it on paper. So it gives people the choice. My audio book for all ages, Sound the Magic Genie, is also free there. We've made it freely available now to help people in this time. There's a free parents manual, and there's free video for adults from my workshop. So everything you need to develop yourself, help your children. I've made it all free for this period to try and serve as many people as possible. Goalmapping.com. And you simply sign up. You won't receive any marketing materials, anything like that. It is genuinely a free resource for people to go and access. And we have thousands and thousands of people there using it at the moment.
But I mean, I could give so many testimonials of people that have used the goal mapping system, you know, that I've worked with. And, you know, I just wish we had time to do the testimonials. One comes to mind, which is so powerful. I did some work for a charity a few years back, and I did the goal mapping on one of our sessions. And the lady there had been in and out of work. One of the team members been in and out of work because she was depressed. But she came in that day, luckily, and she did goal mapping, which is fantastic. And then the owner of the charity asked me a couple of months later, she won't leave the house. She's got agoraphobia. She won't leave the house. And will you go and see it? Like you and I, we give back, you know. I didn't charge for that. I went to see her on a Saturday morning because she wouldn't come out of the house. And I sat with her and I said to her, right, do you know me with my energy? I sat with her and I said, right, we're going, how do you want to feel different? She said, yes. I said, okay, where is your goal map that she'd physically drawn, you know? Oh, she said, it's in the cupboard over there. And I said, go and get it. Not that women are bossy. Go and get it. And she went to get it and she picked up her goal map like this. and she just burst into tears. I thought, God, I meant to be going to help her get better. And and that was in a month. And she said every single thing. I'm getting emotional talking about it now. Every single thing on her goal map had come true. And I said, so I taught her how to focus and be grateful on that. And she just changed her state. She got better into work. And, you know, still to this day, a couple of years later, I believe she's using it as a focus tool, and her life is even better. So
yeah, it becomes an anchor for people. Well done, Susie.
No,
you've helped such a lot of people.
It's your system, but you've helped millions more. So from my heart to yours, you know, it's just been such an honor to connect with you again.
Bless you.
Chat, and it'll be up in a few weeks' time, and I'm sure you're going to get so many people getting the free resources. But thank you, Brian. Take care, and you know, we'll connect soon. Yes.
Look forward to it.
God bless. Bye bye.
Bye bye for now.
Bye bye. Bye.